Sometimes, the biggest changes in basketball happen not with a loud noise, but with a quiet word. Not with a big announcement or a press conference, but with small changes in who plays when, with decisions to rest players, with the way cameras stay a little longer on someone else's face after a shot that wins the game. I'm seeing something right now that I never thought I'd see in my life as a Lakers fan, and it's making all of us face a truth that we've been avoiding for months. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report. I'm your host. And if you're here, it's because you understand that being a real Lakers fan means facing hard truths while still believing in the greatness of this team. This isn't a channel where you'll get sweet stories or strong opinions made just to get clicks. Here, you're getting the latest news, the strategy talk, and the honest conversations about our favorite Lakers that you should have. Today, I need to talk to you about something that's been growing under the surface. Something that's about to completely change the path of this team, and something that every single one of us needs to think about together as a group. What I'm about to tell you about is the end of one time, and at the same time, the start of something possibly amazing. And I need you to stay with me through this whole talk, because by the end, you're going to understand exactly where the Los Angeles Lakers are going. Let me start by taking you back to a moment that felt unreal when it happened, and feels even more important now looking back. February of this year, the trade deadline. The basketball world completely stopped when news broke that the Lakers had made one of the most surprising trades in recent NBA history. Anthony Davis, our strong big man, our defensive leader, the player we thought would retire as a Laker, was going to Dallas. And coming to Los Angeles was Luka Doncic, the 26-year-old Slovenian superstar who was already being talked about as one of the best players on the planet. The reaction was mixed, to say the least. Some fans were very sad to lose AD, a player who had been important in bringing us a championship. Others were very excited by the idea of adding a once-in-a-generation talent in his best years who could lead this team for the next 10 years. The argument was everywhere across social media, in sports bars, in every Lakers group across the world. But what nobody was really talking about at the time, what nobody wanted to admit, was what this move meant for LeBron James. Here's the thing about that trade that I think got lost in all the noise about the big names involved. When you bring in Luka Doncic, you're not just adding a talented player to your list. You're making a statement about who your main team player is going to be from now on. Luka is not someone who comes off the bench. He's not someone who plays a supporting role. He's not someone who's okay being the second or third choice. Luka Doncic is an offense player who needs the ball in his hands to be as good as possible. And when he has that ball, he's one of the most unstoppable forces in basketball. He's averaging the best numbers of his career. He's in the talk for best player every single week. And he's doing things on a basketball court that make you really wonder if you're watching one of the all-time greats in his best years. For the Lakers to bring him in, for the leaders to make that move, they were basically saying that the future of this team runs through Luka Doncic, not through anyone else on the list. Now, let me talk about what's been happening on the court since that trade, because the results have been nothing less than amazing. The Lakers are currently at 15 wins and 4 losses, which puts us among the best teams in the Western Conference. We just came off a clear win against the New Orleans Pelicans, a game where the offense looked smoother than we've seen in years. Luka is running the offense with the kind of basketball smarts that makes you like the game in a different way. He's not just scoring, although he's doing a lot of that. He's making everyone around him better. Austin Reeves, who was already showing moments of being a high-level helper, has absolutely become a star, playing next to Luka. Reeves is having the kind of breakout season that changes career paths, averaging over 20 points per game with great efficiency, making smart plays on both ends of the floor, and showing that he belongs in conversations about the best shooting guards in the league. The connection between Luka and Reeves has been the story of our season, and it's creating an offense system that other teams are having a hard time stopping. But here's what I need you to really understand about that Pelicans game and several other games this season. LeBron James didn't play. He sat out to rest his body, to rest his left leg, which has been bothering him because of ongoing problems with sciatica. And the Lakers didn't just win without him. They were the better team. The offense flowed beautifully. The ball movement was sharp, the speed was perfect, and there was an energy on the court that suggested this team might actually work better without having to fit in a 41-year-old superstar, no matter how famous he is. That's a hard truth to face as Lakers fans, especially those of us who watched LeBron carry this team through some tough years. But it's a truth we can't ignore. When the best version of your team doesn't include one of your highest-paid players. When the team chemistry gets better in someone's absence. When the future looks brighter without them on the court. That tells you everything you need to know about where things are going. Let me be super clear about something before we go any further, because I don't want anyone to misunderstand what I'm saying. LeBron James is still a very effective basketball player. At 41 years old, dealing with sciatica problems, handling the wear and tear of more than 20 seasons in the NBA, he's still able to average over 20 points per game. He's still making plays that 99% of players in this league couldn't make. He's still showing basketball smarts that are among the highest in the sport. Stephen A. Smith, who has had his disagreements with LeBron over the years, recently went on a podcast and made this exact point. Despite the health worries, despite the age, LeBron can still play at a level that would make him a valuable helper on any team in the NBA. This is not about LeBron's game suddenly getting much worse. This is not about him suddenly being unable to compete. This is not about how he plays at all. This is about something much more basic to how NBA teams work in the modern time. This is about age, about timelines, about understanding when to move from one time to the next. Stephen A. Smith said something on that podcast that I think goes right to the heart of what's happening with the Lakers. He said that if the Lakers had a choice, they would trade LeBron, not because of his game, but because of his age and the fact that they have Luka as the future. Think about that statement for a second. One of the most respected talkers in basketball, someone who has covered the NBA for decades, is saying out loud what many people inside the team are probably thinking privately. When you have a 26-year-old best player candidate who could be the face of your team for the next 10 years, keeping a 41-year-old legend who's on his way out within the next year or two doesn't make smart sense, no matter how much we love and respect that legend. Smith went on to explain, saying that the Lakers want young talent on the floor. They want players who can grow together, who can build chemistry over many seasons, who can be part of something that lasts. Luka is 26. Austin Reeves is in his early 20s and getting better every single season. The rest of the list is being built around players who fit into that timeline, who can help now while also being part of the long-term plan. LeBron at 41, dealing with growing injury worries, needing to rest throughout the season, simply doesn't fit into that timeline anymore. It's not personal. It's not about not respecting everything he's done for this team. It's purely about making the smartest basketball decisions for the future of the organization. Let me talk about the resting part specifically, because this is going to be a big factor moving forward. Through the 2025-26 season, LeBron is expected to sit out many games. It's not a choice. It's needed for him to have any chance of staying effective when he does play. The sciatica problems in his left leg are long-term. They're not going to magically go away, and handling them requires rest. But here's the problem with that from a team's point of view. When your third highest paid player is regularly not available, when you can't count on him being there for important parts of the season, when the team actually plays better without him on the court, you're basically paying superstar money for a part-time helper who doesn't fit your offense system as well as your younger stars do. That's not something that can last. That's not smart list building. And that's finally what's going to push the decision that's coming. Now let's talk about what this means in practice for the Lakers and for LeBron. There are really only two situations that make sense at this point. Situation 1 is that LeBron gets traded to a team where he can be the main ball handler again, where the offense can be built around his strengths, where he can finish his career as the main focus rather than as a supporting piece. There are teams in the NBA who would absolutely be interested in bringing in LeBron James, even at 41. Teams that are maybe one piece away from being able to win it all. Teams that could use his experienced leadership and playoff experience. Teams where his skill set would be used as much as possible, rather than made less important. A trade would allow LeBron to protect his legacy, to avoid the awkwardness of being slowly moved out, and to possibly try for one more championship ring as the main guy. It would also allow the Lakers to get something in return, whether that's draft picks, young players, or salary cap space that could be used to build around Luka and Austin. Situation 2 is that LeBron retires as a Laker, finishing his career in the same organization where he won a championship, where he created so many memories, where his legacy is already safe. There's something nice about that. Something that would feel right to a lot of fans who want to see him stop playing as a Laker. But even in that situation, even if LeBron decides to retire here, rather than look for a trade, it doesn't change the basic truth that Luka Doncic is the face of this team now. It doesn't change the fact that the Lakers' chance to win a championship is built around Luka's best years, not around whatever LeBron has left. Whether LeBron goes to another team or retires in Los Angeles, the story is the same. The LeBron time of Lakers basketball is over, and the Luka time has begun. I want to talk about something that I know is on many of your minds, because I've seen the comments. I've read the forums. I understand the emotional connection so many Lakers fans have to LeBron. There's going to be sadness around this change. There's going to be memories for the LeBron years, and there's going to be fans who feel like the organization is not respecting a legend by moving on. Those feelings are real, they're valid, and they're part of what makes sports so meaningful. But I also want to ask you to think about this from a different point of view. LeBron James came to Los Angeles and gave us exactly what we hoped he would give us. He brought us a championship. He raised the image of the team. He attracted other talented players who wanted to play with him. And he gave us some amazing moments that we'll remember forever. That legacy is safe. Nothing that happens now can make what he did here seem less. But great organizations understand when it's time to turn the page. When holding on to the past stops you from fully accepting the future. When feelings have to give way to strategy. The Lakers, bringing in Luka Doncic, was a clear sign that the team is thinking about the next 10 years, not about the next season or two. Luka gives us everything you want in a modern NBA superstar. He's a scoring machine who can get points from anywhere on the court. He's a passer who makes everyone around him better. He's good in big moments. He has the personality and charm to be the face of a team in a city like Los Angeles. And most importantly, he's entering his best years while LeBron is leaving his. The chemistry between Luka and Austin Reeves has been even better than the most hopeful guesses, and watching them get better together is truly exciting for anyone who cares about the future of Lakers basketball. We're seeing the base of something special being built right now, and while it's both happy and sad to admit that LeBron isn't the center of that base anymore, it's also thrilling to imagine where this team could be in 2 or 3 years with Luka leading the way. Let me also talk about the practical basketball reasons why this change makes sense beyond just age and timeline thoughts. Luka Doncic and LeBron James are both players who need the ball in their hands to be as good as possible. They're both main playmakers. Both work best when they use the ball a lot. Both create offense through their ability to break down defenses and make plays for themselves and others. When you try to play them together, you unavoidably limit one or both of them because there's only one basketball. We've seen parts of this season where LeBron and Luka have shared the court. And while there have been some beautiful moments, there's also been awkwardness in the offense flow. Times when one of them is standing in the corner, watching the other create. Times when the spacing isn't best because you have 2 ball-dominant players trying to exist together. Times when you can see things grinding rather than everything working smoothly. Compare that to when Luka plays with Austin Reeves, a player whose game adds to rather than overlaps with his own. And the difference is huge. The ball moves better, the offense flows more naturally, and everyone seems to know their job and does it well. Here's something else I want you to think about as we consider where the Lakers go from here. Trading or moving on from LeBron isn't just about getting better by losing a player. It's about the resources it frees up to keep building this list. LeBron's contract is a big part of the salary cap. Money that could be used to add more players, to bring in specialists who fit specific needs, to sign Austin Reeves long-term at a fair price, or to make another big move in free agency or by trade. The modern NBA is all about list flexibility, about making the most of your assets, about understanding that every dollar you spend on one player is a dollar you can't spend on another. When that money is going to a 41-year-old who's playing limited minutes because he needs rest, you have to ask yourself if that's really the best use of resources for a team trying to compete for championships. I think most honest looks would say it's not, which is why the conversations about moving on from LeBron are happening at the highest levels of the organization. Let me describe for you what Lakers basketball could look like moving forward without LeBron, but fully let loose with Luka as the clear leader. You have a 26-year-old best player level player in his absolute best years running things. You have Austin Reeves becoming a real all-star level talent who can score, pass, and defend at a high level. You have salary cap flexibility to add pieces around them, whether through trades, free agency, or the draft. You have an offensive identity that's clear and effective, built around Luka's special ability to create advantages and Austin's ability to use them. You have a team that can really compete in the Western Conference for years to come, not just in 1 or 2 seasons before age catches up with your best player. That's the vision. That's what the leaders are trying to get. And that's why hard decisions about legends like LeBron have to be made, even when they're uncomfortable. I want to be clear about my own feelings here, because I think it's important for you to understand where I'm coming from as someone who loves the Lakers. Watching LeBron James in a Lakers uniform has been one of the great honors of my life as a basketball fan. The championship run during the bubble, the amazing individual games, the way he carried this team through some thin years, all of that means something deep to me and to millions of Lakers fans around the world. Press that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you never miss a video, and share this with others.